Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our major stories. Outrage trails killing of 17-year-old girl in community in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State capital. Senate and House of Representatives Appropriation Committees present report of 2017 budget before the National Assembly. Federal government seeks to reposition Nigeria's tertiary education system, inaugurates new governing councils of 23 federal universities. And gas explosion in Takoradi town of Ghana leaves more than 100 people injured. Just a quick reminder to you now that for more on our top stories and others, please visit our website channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also watch us on the go on your mobile device by logging on to m.channelstv.com or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. Having the Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have the Eyewitness feature, so you too can be part of the news. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and then follow the instructions to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Now let's take a look at some of those pictures that were sent in to us. We can begin with this one from Ondo West local government area of the state, which shows a fallen pole. Our eyewitness reporter says this is extremely dangerous, especially with the rainy season approaching. The next one is from Nasarawa State, where our eyewitness reporter is calling on road users to be cautious following this accident in Kefi town. And on the note of being careful on the roads, the third picture is of a container on the Bini-Ore Expressway, and our eyewitness reporter is calling on the authorities to urgently take action. Our final picture tonight is from Abia State, which shows the distressed condition of the Ohafia-Umahia Road, badly hit by erosion. Our eyewitness reporter is calling on the government to save lives by fixing this problem. A mediator involved in the release of the 82 Chibok schoolgirls freed over the weekend by Boko Haram says some of the girls still in captivity refuse to be part of the group freed. In an interview with Reuters, the mediator, Zanna Mustafa, says some of the abducted girls have refused to return home, fueling fears that they've been radicalized by the jihadists and they may be afraid and ashamed to return to their old lives.
In an aspect, we are only talking of life saving. We are able to save more than 100 lives now. So are we continuing? If we are continuing, how are we going to continue? Are we going to save more lives, or are we restrict ourselves to Chibok? If we restrict ourselves to Chibok, then we have a time limit. We have a time frame which we will stop. But if we are talking of complete transformation, it will be a sort of a continual process that everybody will come and lay or key into the process. Even thereafter, there are more other girls being abducted that are running into thousands that nobody has advocated for them. So we need to have these ones out through this process. So if you now get complete transformation, cessation of hostility, stopping the suicide bombing, you have now started attending it. By the time you've been talking to this group of people, then you should expect that there are many ones that have been coming up.
All right, from there we cross over to Abuja. Here's Ibrahim Adra. Ibrahim.
Hello, Ijoma, and many thanks indeed. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has opened its case in the trial of a former group managing director of the NNPC, Mr. Andrew Yakubu. The Anti-Graft agency today called its first witness, an investigative officer, Mr. Tamiu Abubakar, who gave details of how the EFCC recovered over $9 million and £74,000 from Ms. Yakubu's premises in Kaduna. After the prosecutor concluded his examination in chief, Justice Ahmed Mohammed adjourned to May the 24th for cross-examination of the witness. The counsel to both parties spoke on the proceeding.
I opened with my witness today, that is the investigating officers, and he did very excellently well, and the court is impressed with us.
I would say it's unfolding, and it's just like when the baby is coming out, you see the head, you start clapping. What if the leg is deformed? So we want the entire baby to come out before we can have a full comment.
The Federal High Court Abuja has declared as illegal the 15-man probe panel constituted by the Inspector General of Police to investigate the violence that took place during and after the December 10, 2016 National and State Assembly rerun election in Rivers State. Justice Gabriel Kolawole, who delivered judgment in the suit filed by the Rivers State government and Governor Nyesom Wike, held that the police panel was unknown to law because it lacked constitutional backing. The counsel to plaintiff, Mike Ozekome, reacted to the judgment.
The special panel set up by the police, which also included members of the DSS, is an illegal body, unknown to law, and therefore unconstitutional. And the court has agreed with us today that that body suffers, or rather enjoys doubtful and questionable pedigree. And automatically, he advised that the Attorney General of the Federation would therefore have to be cautious as to whether he can ever predicate any action on the outcome of a body that is of doubtful pedigree and whose actions are therefore null and void. That body set up by the police to include members of the police force, to include members of the DSS, going by sections 214 and 215 of the 1999 Constitution, and going by sections 4 and 11 of the Police Act, that body is illegal and unknown to law. And as far as I'm concerned, that is the case.
And staying with the judiciary, the FCT High Court has discharged a former head of service of the Federation, Mr. Steve Orosanye, of the 7-count charge bordering on criminal breach of trust and diversion of 190 million naira brought against him by the federal government. He was accused of converting the fund to his personal use through investment in Access Bank PLC for a tenor of 90 days at 9% and 12% interest rates in violation of the extant financial regulations. Mr. Orosanye, through his counsel, Chief Kano Agabi, entered a no-case submission on the grounds that the Anti-Graft agency did not establish a prima facie case against him. In her ruling, Justice Olasumbo held that though there was no copious evidence, or rather there was copious evidence from some of the witnesses called by the prosecution that Mr. Orosanye collected money from the CBN and the Office of the National Security Advisor, the court was unable to hold that he converted same to his personal use. As Nigeria seeks to reposition its tertiary education system, 23 of Nigeria's 40 federal universities now have new leadership with the inauguration of their new governing councils in Abuja. The Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, says the restructuring of tertiary education for enhanced research and sectoral development is part of the economic recovery and growth plan. The minister warned that indiscipline will not be tolerated as the council members have been provided with information on past abuses to guide them in their new roles. Our correspondent, Ajuri Ngelale, reports.
Many institutions develop policy and structures, but very few are the institutions which develop the humans who run them. This makes today's event crucial as Nigeria moves to ascend to the highest cadre of the global community. prequel to a broader effort of converting universities into contributories of cross-sectoral innovation. New governing councils are sworn in by Minister of Education, Adamu Adamu.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you.
There have been, and we hope there will not be again, sharp practices and allegations of bribery in the appointment of principal officers of the university, arbitrary approval and payment of allowances for council members outside those approved by government. This has led councils out twisting the management of universities to pay things that are clearly illegal. This has resulted in the imposition of incompetent and inexperienced persons on the university system.
Oversight functionaries spotlight a lack of diversity in federal institutions.
And because the university barrister is from Bauchi, with due apology to the minister, it is not a direct attack, you discover that 85% of the staff, both academic and non-academics, are from Bauchi. This depicts the essence of a federal institution.
Chairman of the Governing Council of the University of Lagos, Wale Babalakin, says new members are equipped for the hefty task ahead.
It is only when you've been to the bottom of the valley that you realize how great it was when you were on top of the mountain. Once upon a time, we were on top of the mountain in Nigerian universities. It is our challenge to return to this top of the mountain.
New appointees are encouraged to focus on fundraising from private sources to produce research and innovation which can be commercialized for national development. Ajuri Ngelale, Channels Television News.
Many thanks, Ajuri. It's back to Lagos where Ijoma is standing by with more reports on the news at 10. Ijoma.
Thanks, Alor Ibrahim. The Kano state government is reaching out to local governments in the state to begin a joint action for road construction under the state's Rural Development Initiative. At the 3rd National Councillors Executive Leadership Summit, Governor Abdullahi Ganduje says his government is currently working to ensure that all the 44 local government areas are co-opted into this initiative.
This meeting is one convened to enlist the support of these grassroots politicians whose job is to set standards and priorities, especially in the monitoring of projects within their local government councils. The host governor, Abdullahi Ganduje, acknowledges the role of the councillors in developing the grassroots. He also appreciates their efforts in seeking for autonomy in order to generate revenue for the local governments.
Autonomy of the local governments will give you more opportunities to operate, will give you more opportunities to collect your revenues, and will give you more opportunities to discipline all you are elected and appointed members of your local governments.
For the councillors, the meeting is targeted at creating a local government system that will transform grassroots politics, particularly in the areas of education and health.
This gathering provides a great opportunity and platform to multiply our potentials for greater accomplishment.
This is the 3rd time the councillors are meeting, and it is expected that such gatherings will go a long way in addressing the challenges in the localities.
When the news at 10 returns, federal government signs agreement with Italian oil giant Eni to build new refineries in Nigeria's Niger Delta. To join us again.